Things you'll need is ATI WinFlash, which can be downloaded from Tom's Hardware. I'll have the link in one of the comments below. If you want to edit the BIOS, you'll need RBE, Radeon BIOS Editor, which is just an executable, and that's all you really need to flash it. Also, what else you'll need is a secondary card. Can be whatever. Can be a shitty old PCI card with 2 meg of RAM, whatever. Something that you can boot off if something goes wrong, and that you can flash your old BIOS back. So in my computer, I've got 2 identical cards, 2 6970s that I use for mining on this computer. And I'm not going to flash them, but I'm going to show you the process of flashing them. So first, we need to make a backup of our old BIOS. So we need to open ATI WinFlash, and we need to save the BIOS. So click the save button, save that as backup. Hit save, ROM image saved as file. You should have selected your video card from the top down if you've got more than one card. If you don't, it should already be set to your default. Now you've got your backup. You should also have your new BIOS from Tom's Hardware, or if you want to edit your original BIOS, you open Radeon BIOS Editor, load the BIOS. So in my case, I'll have to select all files because I didn't save it as a bin or anything. Open backup. In here you can change your clock settings for your different sets. So basically, your clock info 00 is what your 100% load clock will be set to. So if you want to up that, if you've tested an overclock and you've had your card overclocked for ages and you want to make it default so you don't need to keep installing Sapphire Tricks or Afterburner or whatever you use, you want to change that to the safe clock. These next ones are your idle. This next one's your idle clock. The next one after that is your 50% load clock, I guess you could say, your halfway there clock. The next one after that is your 100% load clock, same as your first clock. Mine's already been edited. I've already been in here and edited everything. My original clocks were 880. I then overclocked my, I added more step ups, and overclocked my, everything's a bit sort of skewy if I'll have to redo this, but the first 4 are the main ones you focus on. Your first one should be your full out, second one should be your first stage, next one should be your second stage, next one should be your 100% load. So clock info 1, 2, 3, and 0. Under that is your voltages that you want it set to. You want to keep your voltages within the safe amount. You don't want to go too bullshit, or you're going to blow up your card. Unlike Sapphire Tricks or unlike Afterburner, you can set your voltages to whatever the hell you want. You could set this to 12 volts, accidentally save it, boot up your card, and suddenly broken. So best be careful when you're doing that. Your fan settings, you can adjust your Tmin and Tmax settings, so you can set your base idle fan speed to lower or higher, and you can also change the clock up speed of the fan, blah blah blah. That's pretty self-explanatory. Additional features, this is if you have like a 6950 that you want to unlock to a 6970, or a 7950 to a 7970 shader clock, you can enable the unlock shaders here. You can also change the upper limit for your overclocking software, so Overdrive, Sapphire Tricks, blah blah blah. you can change the limit. So if you're already overclocking to the absolute max that your ATI overdrive can handle, and you want to keep going further than that, you need to change that. But be careful when you set that too high and then go to ATI Afterburner or ATI Overdrive and go woohoo and set it to max. You're going to run into problems. So once we've done all that, and save the BIOS as new edited, I guess you could call it. Save that. Job done. Go back to ATI WinFlash. Load up that BIOS. So we'll find new edited, load that in, and click program. And hold your breath. A lot of people make it out to be a lot more problematic than it actually is. But as long as you match the device ID and the vendor ID on the BIOSes, so you want to open GPU-Z. If you're just modifying your BIOS, you don't need to worry about any of this. But if you've downloaded another BIOS for whatever reason, why is this not loading? For whatever reason, you need to match the where are we? Where are we? I'm lost. Device ID here with the device ID on the video card on the new BIOS that you're overclocking. So in my case, it'll be a 6970. So we'll go card type HD 6970. Where are you? And mine's a gigabyte, so we'll want to find gigabyte. As long as you match this device ID with the device ID from here, 6718, 6718, 1002, 1002, you won't have any dramas. If you do, that's a bit random and it shouldn't happen. A lot of the time too, what will happen is ATI WinFlash will crash before it starts programming. So if that's the case, and it has happened to you, it's not anything to stress about. You haven't bricked your card, just relax. You want to open CMD, change your directory to where ATI WinFlash is, so CD, paste, enter. Then you want to run a command line. You want to say ATI WinFlash. By the way, you'll want to make sure that ATI WinFlash is closed before you do this or it won't work. -F, so you're forcing it to flash. -P, which is your device. In this case, it'll be 0 because it's in device slot 1. It's only one video card, or there's 2 video cards, but I'm programming the first video card. Then you'll want to say the BIOS name. So in our case, it will be new edited.rom. And you press enter. I'm not going to do it because I've already flashed my cards. And then that will program your card. And if the card, then you have to reboot. If the card doesn't boot, bullshit. But if you followed my advice and got a second card ready, boot up from the second card, leave the first card in your system already, boot up from the second card, run ATI WinFlash again, flash it back the backup BIOS that you made. Hopefully you didn't skip that step. If you did, you're a fucking idiot and deserve to brick your card. And all will be good. You may need to reinstall your drivers undoubtedly though, because ATI should automatically pick it up and reinstall the driver itself. And enjoy your new base settings or your new BIOS. On some cards this is really necessary. When I bought these two 6970s from a bloke off Facebook, they wouldn't clock up. I had to downclock them to 750 megahertz when they're basic because they are 880. No matter what I did, I couldn't get them to be stable at 880. So I flashed the BIOS with a new revision of the same card, revision 3, and perfect. They're now overclocked to 920 and 1450 instead of 880 by 1375. So easy. Hope it's helped. Don't come crying to me if you break your cards, but if you follow the steps, make a backup, you don't meddle with the voltages and make a mistake, and you have a backup card ready and waiting, if you do brick it, you won't have any problems.